Hey guys, Coach Kimmy here, and I just wanted to talk to you about mindset. Why is mindset so important, especially for a hairstylist? Because you're doing and dealing with people all day long. So if you don't have a good mindset, how can you overflow into people around you? You can't give what you don't have. So I just love the thought of leading yourself well first, so that you can have something to give and overflow into your customers and clients. That's how you connect to them. Connection is so important. That's how you build an incredible following, a strong book, and also, you know what is another really big thing? When you have a strong mindset. Now, what does mindset actually mean? All right, so let me read to you what ChatGPT says. It says mindset is a person's established way of thinking, right? The set of beliefs, attitudes, and assumptions that shape how they interpret situations, make decisions, and respond to challenges. Okay, it says in simple terms, it's the mental lens you use to view the world. For example, two people can face the same situation but react very differently because they have different mindsets, right? Let me say that again. So it's the mental lens that you use to view the world. Two people can face the same situation but react very differently because they have two different mindsets, right? Different mindsets. How do we get a healthy mindset? And I think that's the better way of saying it, right? A healthy mindset. Well, there's a few different ways. The hardest person to lead is always you. And let me tell you, when I learned that, it was a game changer because I let my emotions run me like wildfire. And I think that when I learned that I had a subconscious and a conscious mind, I love to say like the two parts of the brain, left brain, right brain, right? Why does that matter? Because your brain is what creates all your outcomes. But your mind is the perception that you've used through your sight, through all your five senses, sight, hearing, taste, right? Smell. And it's amazing that our five senses create so much of our belief systems. It's your senses, right? Your five senses. And so a lot of times monkey see, monkey do. So when we're growing up and we've had toxic, I want to say environment or toxic people that were your mom and dad, but they didn't know they were toxic. You didn't know they were toxic. But then as you grow up and you realize they were so toxic and unhealthy because they had an unhealthy mindset, right? We want to go to what's a healthy mindset and what's an unhealthy mindset. So having two parents that were drug addicted, they were unhealthy. They didn't get love from their families. So they couldn't give what they didn't have to me and my brother. So I had to learn to get it, right? And I'm going to tell you, the first person I got it from was God. God was the first person that really taught me that I was wonderfully and marvelously made, that He had good plans for my life, that He had a future and a hope for me, that I could lean on Him, that I could trust Him. And I'm going to tell you, I was 21 years old when I actually gave my heart to God and I start to read His Word. His Word is like a love letter to us. Isn't that amazing, right? Like I wrote a journal for my daughter when she was young, and the journal was so that if let's just say I died when she was 6, I already wrote the journal before she was born because I thought, you know what? I really want her to know who I am. I wanted her to know her story. I wanted her to know all the good things that have happened in her life and the bad things, right? Like I was definitely not healthy the way I am now because I've learned to lead myself really well, and I've changed and I've become so aware that I was not leading myself. I just want you to know God started to lead me, right? Just like if my daughter got that journal when she was, and she'd have to be at older age to appreciate that journal, right? If she was young, she wouldn't really get a lot out of it. But if she's 16 years old and she would ask my best friend or her dad, what was my mom like? What was my mom like? And then she read her journal, she read my journal, she would know exactly how much I loved her. I said it 1,000 times in that journal, how important, how valuable, and how special she was. Well, that's what God says to us, how important, how valuable, and how special we are. So I'm going to tell you, this was my first number one transformation. That's where it started, right? So I knew that God loved me finally after 10 years of saying, God, please, I'm so sorry. I don't trust you. It's like the God of the universe who made 10 planets. And I just had so much issues with trust. It took me time to learn to trust God. But the best part is I used to pray and ask Him, like, Lord, help me love you more. and help me receive your love more. Like, help me love you the right way and help me to receive your love the right way as well, because I didn't even know what love was. Now I totally know what love is. Totally, 100%. So God's word is definitely a foundation and an anchor in my life. The next book that really transformed me and helped me was The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. Now, John Maxwell is a pastor for a long time, and then he became a crossover writer, and then he travels around and grows people emotionally and mentally, and it's amazing. So this book was my aha moment, I cried hysterical when I read this book because it really makes you use your thinking mind. It makes you use the conscious mind, this book. He makes you think about your life. So there's 15 principles, and these laws, if you live by them, will transform you, and they transform me. Now listen, God's word is my spiritual anchor, right? It's to keep me spiritually aligned and set with God and doing the right thing. And this taught me how to learn to see value in myself, to add value to myself. I had to learn that I was valuable and important. And that's why, even though I was a Christian for a long time, I knew God loved me, but I didn't love me. Let me tell you, it's not a selfish thing to love yourself. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself, right? So there's something to say about learning to see value in yourself, to add value to yourself. That's where self-confidence comes from, right? When people have so much lack of confidence, where does that come from? Because they're scrolling all day long. They have not their own identity. They're scrolling, seeing everybody else's identity, and then wanting to be that identity and not their own. Listen, God made us wonderfully and marvelously made. All right. So John Maxwell really just emphasizes how to be intentional, how to become aware, how to be the leader of your own life, how to make systems to make your life easier. And I just love all the things in this book. I've done this book at least 25 times. I do it with all my girls. I really love to coach them and help them emotionally and mentally, because I'll never forget, there was a guy, these are archive calls when I joined the John Maxwell whole group. So I've been joined there now for about 10 years. In the John Maxwell, it's called leadership training and stuff. Back then it was called John Maxwell Online University. Now it's the John Maxwell group, but you could see it. And it was so valuable to me because I needed John Maxwell's books. He wrote 125 books, probably more by now. There's another great one called Leadership, right? How do we really empower other people to become empowered? And that's so important. And I think as an owner, that's what you have to do as a leader. Empower other people to be great, right? I love, you're the master, you become the master, and then you teach the servant, and then the servant learns so much that they become better than the master. That's what I love. I always overflow my clients into my girls as long as I know they did good training and they've been learning and growing. And, I love to share. So important. So anyway, these archive calls that I had, this guy said, listen, he was a multimillionaire. He said, out of all the books that you've read of John Maxwell's, what's your top 3 favorite? And you know what he said? I only have one. And I just need this book for life, and I'll be rich always, my whole life. I just always had this one book. And it was this one, because he trains and leads CEOs of companies. He leads the owners of companies. He leads all the employees with this book, because that's how powerful this book is. 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. I highly recommend it. And also a great book, The Magic of Believing. Listen, our belief system. We gotta believe, right? We have to believe. And then I wanna show you the blessing of believing. I'm telling you, I wrote 2 books. I wrote 3. I actually wrote 5, but these were my treasures. I wrote another one for affirmations, and I wrote Simple Salon Solutions for business. But this is really my life experience as a hairstylist of a lot of the mistakes I made. And I would have gave up had I not learned to embrace failure, right? You have to embrace failing forward. You have to know that we're going to make mistakes and it's okay. And you got to learn from your mistakes. So it's really a evaluated experience. You learn from those mistakes. And then I have really great mindset stuff in here. If you really need a strong mental, emotional mind, this is your book. And so it's going to help you what not to do when you're a hairstylist, and then what to do as a hairstylist, and how to really grow yourself as an individual. And then this one is my life story. Tragic beginnings to fairy tale endings. Dreams really do come true. Listen, I really believe we create our reality by every choice we make or don't make, right? It's like if we keep doing the wrong thing, we're creating our outcomes. If we keep doing the right thing, we're creating our outcomes. So how did I create my fairy tale endings? You have to read the book and find out. But I'm telling you, like, I have learned to lead myself well. I have learned to honor God and bless Him with everything that I do. I have learned and observed that the more that I learn to lead myself and put healthy boundaries down, really to listen how to lead myself, learn how to love myself the right way, and learn how to be consistent and steady and stable, right? But I had to learn metaphysics and neuroscience to understand that I could shift my thinking and my tragic beginnings. I could shift my brain. I could shift my mindset. You just have to do it long enough for the positive to really root. It needs to take root. And that's how it started to happen. So I just want to highly recommend these books. If you struggle with your identity, this is the book for you. If you struggled in your childhood with trauma or tragic beginnings because you didn't have anybody that knew how to love you, you didn't have anybody to know how to take care of you, this is going to be your book. This is going to inspire you. It's going to show you that it can be done. I'm telling you, I am so filled with bliss and joy and happiness in my life more than ever before. I am so grateful for my life. And this is what I've learned how to do: deal, feel, and heal, right? Listen, life is always going to happen to us. And trust me, as soon as I got into my new place, I said I was going to live with my daughter for 1 year. I was going through a really tough divorce. And that was really hard because of my old paradigms and what I was familiar with. But it wasn't healthy for me. Okay, so I had to learn how to have boundaries, put down boundaries, and then say, no, we teach people how to treat us the right way. And if they don't, you have to disconnect. And I had to disconnect. So through all of that, I thank God for my mindset, right? So I said, I lived with my daughter for a year. I sold my house and it was just, like, let me tell you, I was pressed on every side. I really was like, okay, going through a divorce is like going through hell, and you just got to keep going forward. You just got to keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward. It's brutal. It's awful. It's not anything that I recommend. I recommend just go for more counseling, get more help, and just try to make it work. But because the lawyers are brutal too. I'm telling you, it wasn't even my ex, it was my lawyer that was so bad. Oh my gosh. She gave me more anxiety than him. So it was whatever. But anyway, so through that process, I moved to my daughter's and said, I want to live there for 1 year. And I wrote it down. And there's something magical about writing things down, your desires, your dreams, your goals. And of course, I always pray and, give my heart to God and let Him know my dreams and my desires. And He's the one that blesses me with them. So I said, 1 year to this day, I want to live with her and I want my own place. But it's so amazing. Listen, it was April 31st that I wrote that. And guess what? I moved into her house May 1st. And guess when I moved into my new place? May 1st. Is that so crazy? 1 year to the day. And I forgot about that I wrote that. And I found it and I was like, oh my God, And then when I got in here, I heard really sad, terrible news when I moved into my place. And then I was really blissful. So it's a part of the process to go up and down with emotions, but I learned to deal, feel my feelings, and then heal my feelings. And I always ask God, Lord, here, this is how I'm feeling. Right now, I'm super sad. This is super tragic. This was awful. I feel so awful about this situation that was going on, but I'm going to feel it. I cried. I let it out. I had to feel how I was feeling because I didn't know how I was feeling. I was feeling all kinds of mixed emotions. And then I had to heal. I had to let God heal all those crazy emotions. Deal, feel, and heal. And then I was good. And that was it. And that's what you learn how to do, right? But my mindset is super healthy because I've learned how to put down those boundaries. I've learned how to say no. I've learned how to teach people how to treat me correctly the way I want to be treated. And I make sure that I treat other people the way they want to be treated because I love people. I absolutely love people with all my heart, mind, soul, and strength. And so, I expect people to be kind and nice to me back. And if they're not, listen, I'm not perfect. I still get mad or upset, and but I'm not like I used to be. I am better and better every day. I just learned how to communicate better. I learned how to say how I feel in better ways. Sometimes I still could be sharper. Sometimes I could still be fresh at times, but I try really hard not to. And most of the time, because my thinking is so healthy, I would say a good 90% is like 100% healthy. 10%, I'm human and I'm just gonna make mistakes and not do everything perfect because only Jesus is perfect. So I just wanted to share that with you. So if you need transformation, or you need change, or you need help, I highly recommend giving your heart to God, reading His word. So it's His love letter to you, and read His promises. His promises are so true. You could bank on them 100%, 100%. And then if you need self-growth and mindset, I recommend 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And if you need inspiration, I recommend my book. And if you need to learn more hairapist stuff to become a great hairdresser, I recommend The Secrets of a Great Hairapist. And that is lessons I've learned along the way. So I hope that you enjoyed this and you have a wonderful day.